This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
If the Strip is for tourists, then our neighborhood casinos are for us. From Red Rock to the Rainbow Club on Water Street, today on CityCast Las Vegas, locals Heather Collins from @RaisedInVegas on Instagram and my co-host David Figler are going to help me find the best locals casinos with the best deals. It's Tuesday, June 3rd. I'm Sarah Lohman, and here's what Las Vegas is talking about. Heather, David. Okay, what defines a locals casino?
Anything between like Russell, Las Vegas Boulevard, and then that Fremont, that is not a locals casino. Okay. Sorry. I know I mean, you're going to ask different locals and different locals are going to say what they want. And they would say that Fremont is totally the Las Vegas Boulevard for locals. But fair. I feel like a true local casino is not anywhere near that area because guess what? There's still a lot of places on Fremont Street that you have to pay for parking.
Yeah. It's out in the burbs. Out in the burbs, free parking. Okay. Yeah. Figler, what can you add to that definition?
With one big fat asterisk, I would agree with Heather. I would also say that a locals casino is, they do come in all different shapes and sizes. Some are part of a monster corporation. Some are a little bit more mom and pop. Like some of them are really, really tiny, and we'll probably get into some of the nuance because some of them don't even have table games. Some do. I think we need to distinguish what is a slot parlor versus a locals casino like Dottie's.
A slot parlor? Do we still even have those?
Like Dottie's and the ilk. I mean, Dottie's isn't
What's the
alone.
Other one? Jackie's or something?
There's so many of them. Honestly, Jackpot Joni's, I think, is what you were thinking
Jackpot Joni's,
of.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a ton of them, and there's a lot of bars that have tons of slot machines too, like the PT's chain. I mean, so there's a lot of distinction. So I would say that they are, number one, places that cater to the locals crowd, probably more than they do the tourist crowd. And also, like Heather said, that are kind of convenient in the neighborhoods that aren't on the Strip. And my big fat asterisk is the El Cortez. It's on the end of Fremont Street. It's a real hybrid. If Arizona Charlie's is a locals casino, then I think El Cortez is a locals casino too. We could argue about it, Heather, whether it is or isn't.
I'm going to fight you right now. I feel like you're so wrong.
I think it's the only one. I think it's the only one that's on Fremont Street that considers
Tell me why, Heather.
Because it's on Fremont Street. You still have to pay for parking. Like in my mind, a locals casino is in the suburbs. It's not paid for parking. Can locals go enjoy El Cortez? 100%. Am I, as a local, going to go hang out at El Cortez on a random Tuesday? No, I'm probably more often going to go to like an M Resort, a Durango casino, a Red Rock casino.
David will, because he can walk there. That's the
difficulty to get to is where I'm like, I draw the line.
Yeah, no, I could absolutely walk there. It's downtown parking.
You live down there.
Yeah, no, I do.
So it's your local casino. That's fair.
On a certain level, it is. And also, one thing that you see at El Cortez that you probably don't see a lot of other places, although I have another tiny asterisk on that, is the owner's always walking around and interacting with the clients and stuff like that. I mean, Jonathan Jossel does that. He's the CEO of Plaza. But really, the group that does it, and then, the family that has owned El Cortez for a really, really long time, they take a lot of pride in ownership and are around there and are really trying to cater to a more... Okay. Look, they also do tourists. It's a hybrid.
End round one. Ding, 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 ding. What about the Palms? Locals casino or no?
No.
I disagree. Because the Rio is across the street and they're going hard on locals. Like those, I feel like in my mind, those are hybrids because a tourist definitely could go there because it's close enough. But as a local, free parking, pretty good discounts. Both Rio and Palms both have free pools for locals. So like, I mean, and it's convenient to get to. What's that graph that's like two circles that overcross?
Venn diagram.
Okay, I feel like there's the locals, there's a strip, and then there's our hybrids. El
Sure.
Cortez, hybrid. Plaza, hybrid. Palms, Rio, hybrid. So I feel like there's 3 categories, and I will give you that. You could put your El Cortez in the middle.
Yay!
So what are your favorite locals casinos and why?
Okay, so Durango's my new favorite one because it's literally 10 minutes from my house. I can't wait for their expansion because I heard they're going to put a lot more stuff because obviously right now it's pretty much gambling and food. And that's it. Another casino that I am starting to really, really love.
Wait, why do you like
locals,
Durango?
Because they just have really great, like their food court is probably one of my favorites. Because you could go there with someone and you're each going to find something you absolutely love. I actually did a video where I went to each food court restaurant and spent $20 to show you what is your best bang for your buck. Herb's Burgers at Durango was probably the best bang for your buck, and it was the best. But obviously the ice cream shop doesn't count because ice cream was not $20. But
I will buy $20 worth of ice cream, no problem.
But I just love their food court, and I sometimes, like right before I have to start work, I'll just run in over their food court and convenience, obviously, run in, grab some food, and leave, and now I'm out of there within 10 minutes. Like it's great.
David, what's one of your faves local casinos and why?
El Cortez.
Well, of course I like El Cortez. I'm often spotted there. I do like the Eureka. I like that it's local owned. In the people who work there forever. It's kind of an elevated slot parlor in a lot of ways. They don't have table games there, but they probably got upward of 200 slot machines, if that's your thing. They do lots of promotions and things like that. They have a really cute bar in the middle. I think that the highlight, though, of Eureka, other than being also in walking distance from my house, is they have the cutest little restaurant there, Fat Choi. And used to be part of a storied group, but still, the food there is really excellent. It's a fun place to kind of meet up with friends. We'll go over to Fat Choi, and it's a tiny place, but it's very doable. It's kind of off the radar, and like I said, more than a slot parlor, less than like a Suncoast or a Orleans or something like that.
Halliday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Halliday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Halliday. Halliday, bring it on.
This episode is brought to you by Temptations Cat Treats. Your cat will come running for the perfectly irresistible Temptations Creamy Puree and Temptations Lickable Spoon Cat Treats. The best time to feed lickable cat treats to your cat is anytime. Feed by hand for a playful moment, in a bowl for a creamy treat, or as a topper to make mealtime fun. Visit TemptationsTreats.com to learn more.
All right, Heather, give me another one.
I think we're starting to realize a trend here, though. We both picked our favorite local casino that was conveniently close to us.
Yeah, definitely.
So I feel
That's what it's about.
Yeah, I feel like your favorite local casino is probably something that is drivable distance that you're not going to be like, ugh. Another one that I really, really love, I would say these are both tied, Rio and GVR. And the reason why the Rio is because I feel like the Rio got a really big revamp. I went to their pool last year and it was beautiful. It was free for locals. They also have a very good food court. I'm a food court girly, obviously, because maybe I'm just want all the options. Maybe I want fries from here, but burger from there. And I just feel like I really like what they're doing there. And that's a great casino that if you have family in town, to put them there because the prices aren't ridiculous. And I feel like you can get a good bang for your buck. But the reason why I love GVR and why it's tied, GVR is one of those casinos where I just want to go relax. Their pool is beautiful. It's my favorite spa in town, and locals get a discount Monday through Friday. I think it's 20%.
What's GVR?
Green Valley Ranch.
Green Valley Ranch. Their pool's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't up on the local lingo yet.
No, you're fine. So the spa there is my favorite because you can get a massage I think for like less than 150. I haven't gone there in a while, but
Mm.
if during the week for 20% off locals, you can get a really good discount and you could just spend the whole day at the spa, get a massage, chill in there. They've got their own little private pool area. They've got little day beds. It's never like super packed. So I feel like that's just a good like relaxation day. There's been a time where I had to go to work at 2 and got there at like I think 8:30 for my massage or 9.
Mm.
And I just sat there until I had to go to work. And then I went to work and I was like, wow, what a great day.
A little resorty. I'm going to throw one more in there, Sarah, because
Yeah.
I think it's strip adjacent. But I want to give a shout out to Ellis Island as far as a locals casino.
I was wondering about Ellis Island as a local.
It's more. I would put that more in hybrid land as well, just because
Definitely
I think
it's
a
the
lot of
locals
tourists
that are like,
go
go get
there.
that barbecue, you know?
Yeah, barbecue. I mean, they have karaoke night, which is so
Mhm.
quaint for a casino in 2025, but it is banging there. I mean, it's every night people go. They're doing a big reno there. They finally made peace with F1. They are the best place to go see it. So people who are regulars at the Ellis Island get invites to go to see the F1 Zoom Zoom by.
Mm.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know they had beef and now they are good.
Oh, they had big beef.
Big beef.
There
Lawsuit
was a
beef.
lawsuit beef because they were cutting off access for employees and customers to get in and out. But I think that they squashed. I think it's been squashed. But
That's
year
good.
one, they set up a lot of the viewing areas up at Ellis Island, and I know that they gave out stuff to their loyal customers. And then the Ellis family, you know, they're storied from their eggnog, which is also available up on Mount Charleston. They own the resort up there. To, you know, community involvement and stuff. You know, that's kind of what I like about the locals is that you get a little bit further away from the kind of corporate branding of the, you know, they're all family names that are known to Vegas. You know, the stations are affiliated with the Fertittas. Boyd's have the Cannery and Samstown, et cetera. But, you know, the Ellis family is actual Ellises. You know, it's nice.
It's the sisters, right? There are 3 of them.
Yeah, yeah.
So what about giveaways? You know, the locals casinos, you could get like your, oh man, I mean, my elder friends who go to locals casinos, they do like an annual like clear out of their house. I got a great cast iron pot for free. So the giveaways, the trade-ins, who's got the best ones?
I could not tell you.
The cookware, the
cookware,
weird bar
the jewelry,
stuff,
the purses,
the beachwear, all that stuff. I mean, that is a weird. You could follow that path down to these marketing companies that have these contracts with the different casinos to do, you know, branded materials that they then give away. You see those on the Strip too, believe it or not. I mean, Caesars is pretty notorious for having those. Golden Nugget has a really big, you know, item giveaway, etc. As far as like the best giveaways, you know, it's funny because if you're in a true locals casino, like say the Eureka, they just give you, if you're sitting at a slot machine, they just have random drawings and they just shout out your name. That's how tiny it is, right? They're like, whoever's playing on machine number 17, you just won $50 free play, you know, stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
But I know what you want. You want swag.
No, I don't even. I'll tell you what may be the happiest ever. And we did discuss this, like, check our Water Street episode because, of course, like, 2 of our oldest, like, locals casinos are down on Water Street. I don't think it was Palace Station because definitely the Rainbow Club and Emerald Isle predate Palace, Bingo Palace, don't you think?
Well, I don't know, mid-70s? When did Rainbow
I'd have
come
to
up?
Look. They're very cute. I highly recommend them. They do tons of free food. First of all, it's like Friday is pizza night. So I went with my friend Allison. She taught me how to play the video poker the first time I went. And while we were sitting there, like the guy got on the horn on the floor and he's like, all right, Adam and Jose are coming around with free Blue Bunny ice cream bars. And I was like, what? And Jose came over and was like, do you want a Blue Bunny ice cream bar? I'm like, yes. This is all I've ever wanted. It's just someone to hand me free ice cream. So
I obviously am not hanging out these casinos because I've never gotten free ice cream. I've never gotten free play.
Oh my God. Like there was the one night David and I were down there, Rainbow Room had free pizza at 7 and Emerald Isle had free ice cream at 8. Like, come on.
Yeah. And I'm not to keep shouting out El Cortez, but they give out free ice cream bars too.
Oh, Rainbow Club opened in 1967, David. That is a straight up locals casino, maybe the oldest.
Maybe. And, you know, Henderson, different rules than Las Vegas.
Henderson, baby. Come out to the wild side. So what is the most deeply local tip you can give us about locals casinos? The insider tip.
tipping $20 will get you pretty far in life.
Oh.
That ain't no lie.
Tip on the first drink, obviously.
If you tip
anywhere.
$20 anywhere.
At any part of the casino, whether you want to park in the valet, like you want your car to be waiting for you when you come out, Sarah.
Yeah.
A locals casino, $20 will get that. $20 pretty much does everything.
$20, you're getting a room at this casino. You want a view of whatever, $20. Oh, the casino's not very busy tonight. Oh, can I get a little bit upgraded room? $20. You might have to throw 30 on that one, but like I did that trick the other day. I tipped $20 the other day. I'm not gonna say what casino. And
Circus. Just
no, but close. I tipped $20 and it literally got me a better facing room of like the strip area. And I was like, oh.
When you were checking in, you tipped $20 and they upgraded your room? You just gave them $20 when you walked up to the...
I said,
it's a sneaky thing. It's a little
It's a sneaky
slide.
thing. You go, hey, are you guys got full capacity? And then they go, oh, no, we're not. We're pretty, we're half tonight. I'd be like,
and
okay,
you have the little bill folded in your fingers,
Yeah.
and then you do the little Vegas slide. Come on, Sarah.
I'm new here.
Old school.
I did a whole video on this on Raisin Vegas about where you can tip in Vegas and what it will get you.
Okay, I love this.
If you go to a Vegas show, if you go to like Cirque du Soleil or like an Absinthe or whatever, if you tip the usher $20 and there's seats in front, they will give them to you.
So you just like, hey, my seats are here, but here,
you might have to wait a second and make sure that no one's coming, but be like, hey, like maybe the show just started. It's like 5 minutes in and that seat right there is empty. You can be like, hey, is there any way I can move up to that seat? Are you cool with that? And they'll be like, let me check really quick. I actually did that at a show the other day too. But then she never came back. So I just moved myself.
Oh, this is ballsy. I mean, this is like, I feel like, like I can haggle, but it took me, I had to learn it. This is like the next step of haggling is the preemptive tipping.
Correct.
Smart Water Alkaline with antioxidant.
Whoa, that's refreshing.
And a 9.5 plus pH for every way you move.
I did take a Spain class today.
Restoring like a pro. Smart Water Alkaline with antioxidant. For those with a taste for taste. Grab yours today.
Mic check. 1, 2. Are we recording? Hi, I'm Michelle Bernstein, an award-winning chef, restaurateur, and mom. I have a lot on my plate, including my psoriatic arthritis symptoms. That's why I was prescribed Cosentyx. It helps me move better.
Cosentyx secukinumab is prescribed for people 2 years of age and older with active psoriatic arthritis. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur, like tuberculosis or other serious bacterial, fungal, or viral infections. Some were fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur. Learn more at 1-844-COSENTYX or Cosentyx.com.
Ask your rheumatologist about Cosentyx.
Figler, you got something for me?
Keep your eye on the local casino entertainment because it's not stuff you're going to see on the strip. And it could be train wreck bad, but train wreck bad to me is amazing. Sometimes it's very, very low rent. Sometimes it's just the guy.
Cover bands.
Well, cover bands are more of like on the strip. Like this is, you don't even know what you're going to get. And it could go, and sometimes it's actually like really well-known old school people who are just kind of floating around and you catch a show at the Cannery or catch a show. And, if you listen to radio a lot, you hear a lot of these bands being advertised. But you got to keep your eye on it. It's like they don't have giant marketing budgets to let you know who's playing at a lot of these things. You could really catch some quality and or train wreck rate entertainment for a very, very, very low price.
Who's the guy that sings "Take Me"? Eddie Money. I've seen Eddie Money at some of these local casinos, and I was like, no shit, Eddie Money, really?
Although we can't see him anymore because he's gone to that. He cashed in those 2 tickets to paradise.
But back in the day, like I would say, 6 years ago, 7 years ago?
Sure.
He was playing at maybe the Suncoast it was? I don't remember which one it was, but it was
Alex
somewhere.
Chilton played at Arizona Charlie's. I mean, who would even know the box tops Yeah, it's really remarkable what happens, and then sometimes they're not even marqueed. All the kimonos played at El Cortez. Come on, Sarah.
They write some of our music.
That is
For
correct.
this show. I say them a lot. I'm a big fan.
Isn't that wild?
Yes.
My dear friend, and I'm sorry, Heather, that this is becoming an El Cortez love fest, but my very dear friend, Puddle's Pity Party, the giant 7-foot clown with the golden pipes who's opening for Weird Al during his residency at Venetian, his very first Out of Georgia show, because he's from Georgia, was at the Parlor at the El Cortez. So, yeah, you could really catch some really cool stuff. And I think that's a thing that can only happen at a locals casino and or a locals hybrid Venn diagram casino.
El Cortez needs to give you an endorsement.
They should, but I don't, what else? It's a fun place.
Right. He's got strings to Paul. We touched on strip casinos, but are they doing anything nowadays to appeal to locals?
No.
Nothing.
I mean, they just exist.
Well, the only thing I can think of is putting good artists there for concerts.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm going to casinos. Like, I'm a little bit of a different human because obviously I run this page. I'm trying to find the coolest and greatest things.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit of a different human, and I feel like I will go to a strip property to go see a concert. But here's a pro tip. I don't know if I should tell this pro tip. I'm going to tell this pro tip. I don't ever park at the casino that's having the concert because you will get charged a ridiculous fee for the parking.
And you can't get out at the end.
Yeah.
You're
I'd rather
stuck.
park like at a casino next door, or I'd rather park at a casino across the street and just walk it because you're going to be less likely to get stuck and you're not going to have to pay a $50 parking fee. So, I mean, there's tips and tricks of like going to these casinos so you don't get screwed. But that's the only way I'm going, unless it's like a brand new, like one of my favorite restaurants is Best Friends at Park MGM. I will go on a random Tuesday. Will I go on a weekend? Hell no. But I will go on a random Tuesday to Best Friends and figure it out.
Delicious. The tacos that they're famous for, actually really, really delicious. Braised pork, I believe. Delicious.
I think so. You're right. Yeah.
There have been a lot of efforts over the years to pick up that local, that sweet local coin. Some casinos are better at than others. A lot of it has to do with their marketing campaigns. So if you do sign up for the various players cards, et cetera, you get inundated with mailers and things of that nature, which are intended to lure you to come in. But as far as like a specific thing that they have done, I think that is a relic of the past. There used to be like the CEO of Mandalay was a guy named Glenn Schaefer. And Glenn had like a business degree, but he also had a creative writing degree from Iowa
Writers Workshop.
And so he put in like an art gallery and a independent bookshop and all these other things that were totally designed to, appeal to locals to go and get, this is pre-writer's block, et cetera. And when he left, all that stuff left too, and so that didn't really resonate. When the Venetian put in the Guggenheim and the Hermitage and stuff, that was for everybody, but also was supposed to be like the art museum for Las Vegas locals, and that didn't really kind of make it either. No, so
because the pay for the parking.
Well,
so
there's that.
Why is it important for casinos to appeal not only to the tourists but also to us locals?
Business. I mean, the tourism is down in Las Vegas. And maybe they should reconsider that nickel and diming their locals is probably not the best idea ever. And also, since the tourists are not coming in as hard as they used to right now, I mean, everyone's talking about it. Maybe they should start to be like, all right, guys, you know what? For the rest of 2025, there's no parking for locals.
I think
like
the tourists are getting tired of being nickel and dime too.
I have a real mixed answer to how important locals are because, like Heather says, it's business.
Whoa. I think we're very important.
Oh, no, I think we're very important. Like Heather says, I mean, it's business, right? It's going to be making money, especially if the tourists aren't coming. I also have mixed feelings about that because I feel like in a lot of ways, it's sort of cannibalizing the people who are here. In other words, people come to Las Vegas to indulge in a little bit of gambling for a weekend or for a week. I don't know that gambling in a community was meant to be accessible 24/7, 365 days a week to all the people. And there is a social cost that we don't really talk a lot about. People who get caught up in that, especially the locals, and, they stay here. They're not going back to their own communities. So I feel like the question of social responsibility of the locals casinos needs to be discussed a lot more. But that said, people are going to find a way to gamble, and the locals casinos definitely fill that need, especially with, like we said, the convenience of it being nearby and the specials and the feeling of it being, a place where you can meet up with friends or where you can make friends with some of the people who work there and stuff. I mean, it's a very interesting concept, but it's not without its risks, I think.
Yeah.
David, Heather, thank you so much for your input. I'm so glad to know so much more about locals casinos.
My pleasure.
I want to know where all this free swag is that I'm missing out on.
It's on Water Street, trust me.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
That's all for today here on CityCast Las Vegas. If you enjoyed the show, share it with a friend. That really helps us out. You can also rate our show and leave us a review, and subscribe to our morning newsletter for more fun locals casino facts. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Take care.